Okay, we're in chapter 11 now, and we're going to get a group of new tenses in the past. Don't get too panicked about the accumulation of tenses, because there's a summary that I've given you for chapters, I think, 12 and 13 to review this. But for the moment, just hold on. And most of this is going to be pretty intuitive, except for one issue. This new tense called the imperfect. So we're going to talk a little bit about its use. How you form it is very easy, and it's entirely regular. I'm very happy to say. So the big issue here is the way that the French divide up past time. And conceptually it's different from how we do in English. And there's one big divide. And so you have to imagine that time is different, or at least past time is different for the French, and you have to kind of get into this mindset. So it's one of these interesting points in a language in which you really start thinking otherwise than you're used to. And the big divide, I'm going to call it the divide between the imperfect and the past indefinite, but this could also be the past definite, the only difference really being that the past definite is literary tense, this is not. Okay? So everything I'm going to say about the past indefinite, it's also true for the past definite. So when we use this, a verb in the past imperfect, we're creating a space of time. And we're going to wonder, well, what happened during that period of time? When we use the past indefinite, we're creating a point in time. And we're going to say, well, what happened after that? So this is more duration, this is more punctual. This raises the question, well, what happened while you were doing that? And then this is going to raise the question, the past indefinite, well, what happened after you did that? So this is going to be the kind of natural choice, the imperfect. It's going to be the natural choice for descriptions or states of being, things that go on for a long period of time. You know, it was very sunny out, the birds were singing, stuff like that. And you think, well, so, okay, great. What happened while all that was going on? With the past indefinite, I came into the room, I saw that there was a knife lying on the floor, the dog was screaming. You know, those would all be in the past indefinite. What happened then? What happened then? You were sort of led forward. So here we've got a kind of classic example of how these two would combine in a sense. In this example, je lisais quand le téléphone a sonné. This is in the imperfect, this is in the past indefinite. I was reading, this is the verb lire, to read. I was reading when the telephone rang. This is the imperfect, and it's interrupted by an action in the past definite. So this is really showing us, this lise is creating a duration. I was reading when the phone rang. And so that's a punctual interruption of a space within a space of time. Space of time created by the imperfect, the punctual interruption created by the just the very tense itself of the past indefinite. And this kind of raises the question, well, what happened next? And then what'd you do? Or then what happened? One other use of the imperfect is for recurrent or habitual actions. When you did something every Sunday or Friday as a kid, you would put that in the imperfect in French. So Sundays, I would go to the store with my little sister. In English, no, we have a tendency to use would. I would go to the store. That's not a conditional. It's a way of expressing recurrent action in the past in English. I would go to the store. You could say, you could leave the would out, and you would still get the same meaning, usually from context. But the would sort of emphasizes and clarifies that. But in French, we would do that with the imperfect. So, again, kind of two past worlds that get divided between the imperfect and the past indefinite. And look over the handout about this, and then go through the exercises, especially the supplementary exercises, because I think they'll help a lot. Okay.